Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Dawson ASMR. Today's video is going to be the next installment in my physical media haul video series. The series where I put out a video every 3 months showing you all of the physical media, movies and books that I have accumulated over those 3 months. So, the past 3 months have included a birthday and Christmas, and holiday sales, so you're going to have to bear with me. There's a lot. I'm not going to spend too much time on one book or one movie over the other. I'll tell you a little bit about them, where I got them, and we'll just go with that. Does that sound good? Perfect. Okay. Let's start with books, because there's more of those, and I feel like it's easier to stack those off to the side. So first, this is in no particular order, so you'll be hearing Christmas gifts, 6 books in, but also at the beginning. This is a Christmas gift. Superman Birthright by Mark Waid, illustrated by Linnell Francis Yu, 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, and Dave McCaig. And this is, I couldn't tell you what it's about, but it is the first in the Superman reading order that I have put together after perusing Reddit for days on end and watching YouTube videos. I've kind of assumed the best reading order to sort of get the essential stories of Superman, and this is where to start. That was a Christmas gift. I ended up getting that. Let's see. Most recently added to my collection, these are from one of you lovely people, and this is the first 3 books in the new Goosebumps House of Shivers, and I believe Autumn, if I'm not mistaken, got these for me off my wish list. I'm very bad with names, so if I can't remember names, I apologize. But there is Scariest Book Ever, Goblin Monday, and Night of the Living Mummy instead of Dummy. And I grew up with Goosebumps, and I still love them. I still love to read them. They're very fun, nostalgic, and I have a lot of respect for R.L. Stine for what he did, not only to just literature, but for me as a child, letting me experience horror when I didn't understand Stephen King novels or didn't have access to things like novelizations of like Halloween and stuff. This was like my go-to for horror, and these look fun. So yeah, they're very easy to find. I could read all 3 of these in like, I don't know, 4 hours maybe. So very fun. I haven't read them yet, but I will be soon. So. And then I got, okay, so these next 2 are from my boyfriend, who is very sweet, because he said, I'm going to get you books that nobody's going to think of for Christmas. And he got me, first and foremost, so excited for this, my favorite characters in the sequel are, the Star Wars movies, are Finn and Poe. And yes, I do ship them, but they're also just like so cool. I love a hero who leaves a resistance or leaves a like political group to push against it and go on their own, even though they're so tiny against such a mega group. Love it. And that's exactly who Finn is. And this is a story that takes place after the Rise of Skywalker, and it follows Finn with his best friend, maybe sort of girlfriend soon, Jannah, and they are, it chronologizes really their journey joining the Order in before The Force Awakens, all the way till afterwards with The Rise of Skywalker, apparently. I'm very excited for this. I try to read as much Star Wars as I can, but there's so much. I also have a reading order for that though as well. Yeah. So he got me that, as well as, this has really been on my mind, and I only mentioned it once to him, but this, I can't say that word. I say it to him lovingly, but I'll get censored on YouTube. he must have like written it down and looked for it, but this is Fake Red, Spider-Man Fake Red by Yusuke Asawa, I think is how you say it. And this is a manga. And this is not about Peter Parker. This is about a teenager who puts on Spider-Man's suit and learns that being a hero is not about photo ops and stuff. It kind of reminds me of the level in the PS4 game, if you've played it, where that kid pretends to be Spider-Man and the villains go after him because he's wearing the suit, but he's not really Spider-Man. So this is what it reminds me of. But I mean, you got Venom. The back you've got Scorpion. And it just has the prettiest Spidey artwork that I've seen in a long time. I'm very excited for this. So, I love this. I'm trying to read more manga, and I love things that are like standalone like this. So, because I love the Big Hero 6 manga. I don't own that yet, but I need to. Yeah. More manga. Why not? My mother got me these for Christmas. The first is Jujutsu Kaisen, and this is volume 3. And I own the first 2 volumes. This is the 3rd volume. I said in my Christmas haul video that I want to own all of these, but there's like 20 something of these, like 20, almost 30 I think, or maybe there is over 30. And they're pretty pricey in terms of like buying them all at once, but I keep my eye out for like lots on eBay, like when they have the lots of them for a cheaper price. Because I am loving it. I'm absolutely adoring this, and I want to watch the anime as well as the movie. So actually, let me ask you all a favor. If you're a big fan of this, comment below if you're really good at knowing that stuff. What's the best order? I want to hear from the fans of the stuff, not like a Google search. What's the best order to like read the manga, watch the show, and the movies? Like, because I know the show, the anime probably follows a certain amount of volumes per season. So, but I did get that. Not gonna linger on this one. This is Megumi Itsugumi, and this is by Mitsurushi. It's in plastic. That's all you need to know. And it's fun. It's cute, and it is no different, really, than what are those books there? Like the Emily McIntyre books, and like the Sierra Simone and Katie Robert books and stuff like that. The smut craze of TikTok, it's like that. So I'm enjoying it. This is the second one, but I've read like the first 4, I think. Then yeah, so a couple of these might still be familiar from my Christmas video. Hello, this is Callista from the Robert Half hiring team. Do yourselves a favor. If you ever go on Indeed and you don't use it 5 years later, change your number. I get spam texts all the time because of that. Then we have The Teacher by Frida McFadden. And I have read this. I absolutely adore this book because for me, it's very fun, it's very fast-paced. The chapters are really short, but it feels like a Lifetime movie. I have this distinct memory of this Lifetime movie where this girl has an affair with her professor, and he ends up by accident on her, like against the wall, does it like because he's angry, and her girlfriends have to like figure out how he did it and stuff, and it almost has that kind of like Lifetime-y vibe, like very dramatic, but like, oh god, I roll. I eat that crap up. I'm sorry. But I grew up in a household with a mother who had Lifetime on 24/7. Sorry. But this one's really good. It's about a teacher. Well, I guess it's kind of the same lines. A student who's having an affair with a teacher and being groomed into being almost sociopathic, I guess you should say. But very cool. I love Frida McFadden's writing style. It's a good popcorn read, is what I would call it. It's the best way to describe that genre. So, then we have dressing room. Ooh, murder. Oh, sorry, censors. This is a book written by Holly Stars, who is a English drag queen. And she's a stand-up comedian, a writer. She apparently is the creator of the drag mystery Death Drop. It's a play that ran in West End. I gotta just call her out and give her all these accolades. She has 2 seasons of a TV show, Holly Stars Inspirational, on Outflix and OutTV, which OutTV, if you don't know, is big for putting out queer television. And regularly performs in London and around the UK. Her solo shows include Justice for Holly, Nightmare Neighbor, and Birthday. So, I'm not from England. I've never seen one of Holly's shows, but I imagine that they're brilliant because the writing in this book is so much fun. It literally feels like I'm reading the best version of a drag race competition, like a drag race acting challenge. It's so fun. There are a lot of idiosyncrasies to, I think is how you would say it, to do with like British drag versus American drag. Luckily I know sort of a lot about the scene for all the books and stuff I've read, but this is so good. It's about a drag queen, Misty, who her mentor and owner of a club is, and she has to figure out who did it. And it's very campy. There's a cat burglar. There's like a whole cat and mouse chase. It's very cool. So very fun, very campy. I adore it. And there's gonna be a sequel, and I will be eating that up. So, and this came when Amazon delivered it like that. I don't mind. So then another book that one of you lovely sent me, and I don't think I remember. Lori? I think Lori. But this is I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, and I have 3 others of her books up here, and I think I need to own 2 more, and I will own all of Alice's books. So, she's the creator of Heartstopper, which you've probably watched on Netflix or read the comics, and these are her books. So they're very pretty. They have these new art styles, and they're so fun. They're so easy to read, and I mean, I think it's been a long time since we've had access to sort of queer stories that are lighthearted. Not every story has to be about heartbreak. It has to be about like torture and like, oh my god, the world hates me. It's nice to read a world where people are accepted for who they are. So it's very fluffy in that way. It's very cute. So I've got that one. Ooh. I'm getting over being sick, so excuse me. Then I have one that I got on a whim from Ollie's. I need to stop going into stores because I feel bad if I go in and don't buy anything. I feel like I'm wasting the staff's time. Is that silly? Absolutely. But I got Immortal Longings by 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 because I'm not gonna lie to you all. I used to read a lot of romance. Like I have a whole 2 shelves of it. And recently, yeah, my Christmas stuff is still up. Don't judge me. But recently, I have just not been really in the mood for it. I guess my mood has changed recently. Maybe I'll get back into it eventually. You know, sometimes you eat so much pizza, you don't want pizza anymore. But this is a fantasy novel, high fantasy, adult fantasy, and it's 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲's adult fantasy debut, actually. So, and it's inspired by Antony and Cleopatra of Shakespeare, which I don't know the story of, I'm sorry to say, but the book itself sounded really good, and isn't this gorgeous? The gold. Oh, it's so pretty. So I had to pick that up. I had to take it. So, and then I got a few books. I got 5 here. So Book Outlet has a sale every once in a while, and they did it for Thanksgiving, and I was, sorry, I had to. Where they will do essentially just like books for $5.99, and some of these books are probably not that much cheaper than what you'd find at the store, like $8, $9 at Walmart. But some of them are really good deals because they're otherwise $35, brand new. And these are all brand new, they're just overstock. So, first I got Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar, or Caesar. And I read this, I enjoyed it. I feel like when I look for a slasher book, I'm looking for a book that feels like a slasher. This felt... I can't spoil it by saying what it felt like, but it didn't feel like that. It was really good though, and it had there's really good gay representation that I felt was done really well. The final girl is actually kind of iconic, and the movie was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed the book more. It's kind of always the case, right? But it was still good. I read this one. I read the sequel. After reading the sequel, I don't feel like I need to read any more of them. That's just me. But I did enjoy this. You know, it did take a step forward. It won the Bram Stoker Award. Rightfully so. I thought it was done really well. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So I did get that. I wanted to own it, because I will be rereading that. And because I have an autograph from the author. It was a pre-order thing if you got the second one. And even if you did digital, you got it. And I pre-ordered digitally. So, let's see. Ooh, Star Wars. I got Galaxy's Edge, A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova, I think is how you'd say it. Or I'm just butchering it. And this is based off the Disney ride at the parks, Galaxy's Edge, which I have not ridden because it was not up when I went to Disney as a kid. So I'm old. Sorry. And but I want to read this. I think the only thing you have to do is watch a POV video on YouTube. Is all you have to do. So that would be a lot of fun. So I did get that. Ooh, this one. I love this book. 5 out of 5 book. Whoever designed this book, the physical, like how it was made, you need to be fired immediately. So this is Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. And yes, I'm one of those people who reads a book because an author, an actor that I love is going to be in the adaptation, and both Saoirse Ronan, who is Mother, and Austin Butler, who is, we're going to be in the adaptation of this. Neither of them are anymore, and I felt really bad for the girl who went viral on Twitter for having Austin Butler sign her edition when he was going to be in it. And now she has an edition of this book signed by Austin Butler, and he has nothing to do with it. It's so funny. But this is a really good book. It takes place in post 9/11 in New York, and it's two kids in college who are kind of just exploring each other and themselves at the same time, of like what it means to love somebody, what it means to love yourself, and it's the best way I can say it. But it's serrated edges. Strike one, count one, guilty. Inside jacket on a paperback. Count 2, guilty. It is abnormally tall. Count 3, guilty. Like, this is... But it's a very good story, and that's really what matters. And the irony that my copy was a damaged copy. Once in a blue moon you get a damaged copy with a cut on it from a box cutter, and it's deep cuts. But it's cute. Yeah, we're almost done with books. So, then we have Stephen King's Never Flinch. This is a Holly, what's her last name? Holly Gibney story. He has a lot of books by Holly Gibney. The Bill Hodges trilogy. There's a book called Holly, and there is The Outsider. The Outsider is one of my favorite books of all time. It's my boyfriend's favorite book by Stephen King. This I have not read because Holly does not intrigue me. I feel like Stephen King, this is going to sound mean, I feel like he's run out of steam, for lack of better words, and I feel like he's writing an autistic character just to say she's autistic. You know what I mean? I didn't really get that when I read the other books, and I'm just like bored. I want something original, a detective that's doing the same thing over and over. I don't know, maybe I just need to stop being mean, but I don't know. So, yeah, I just want to read some, like, gripping horror. But I did get it because it was $5.99 on sale. Typically, it is $32, and the only reason it's on sale is it's a little bit dirty. I think maybe it got left out of the shipping box, or it fell, like, under the shelf. I think it's Target. So, but that's literally no problem at all. And I'm going to complain about that when I got a book for, someone do the math, $32 to $6. What percentage did I get off? You know? Then we got a book that I'm very excited for. This is The Devils by 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. And I've not read any 𝐬𝐭𝐴bercrombie, but this book is gorgeous. It sounds very good, and I did get this from the library and started it, but I fell into a reading slump, and I didn't get past like 5 chapters. But the 5 chapters that I did read, like they were, I feel like Delroy and Sinners, like they were good. So, but how stunning of a book. Let me just show you. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. Like, the inside has this beautiful artwork. I mean, we are back. And this is just a book. This isn't some, like, special edition you have to pay extra for. This is just a book that you could find on the shelf at, you know, Barnes & Noble. So, very cool. Very nice. I love that we're still making books like this that aren't, like, a special edition sticker slapped on them just to be saying it, to get more money. Yeah. And I have a lot of opinions in this video, don't I? Kind of a douchebag. So, then we have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This movie is coming out soon, and I will be first in the theater to see it. This book is excellent. This book is one of my favorite books of all time. This was a birthday gift from my boyfriend, and this was phenomenal. This is about a guy who goes to space, to another galaxy to save Earth because the sun is dying and getting cold, and he gets stranded there. That's all I can say. I can't say anything else. Don't watch the trailer for the movie. If you haven't already, don't watch it. It's just, if you love The Martian, you're gonna love this. And it's, you watch the trailer, you'll be spoiled for a very big thing about this. So, but I love this. Me and my boyfriend actually buddy read this together, and we flew through it. It was just so good, we couldn't put it down. It was so beautifully written. There's a character that just like warms your heart. So, very cool, very nice book. I'm going to be rereading that before the movie, probably. Then we have a book that I actually just reread recently, and I got this for my birthday from my mom. And I call this the scariest book I've ever read because it simply is. It truly is the scariest book I've ever read. And that book is Pen Pal by Dathan Arbuck. This is about a boy who, in an attempt to sort of unravel his own childhood blocked memory, talks with his mom and discovers these stories from his childhood. And it's like each chapter is like a new part of the clues that he's getting, the puzzle that he's solving. And it's very creepy. Let's just say, I'll tell you this, I'll say this without spoiling anything. If you were ever a kid, because I did when I was a kid, unfortunately, and you did the putting your number or address on a balloon and letting it go in elementary school, and you had fears, or your parents had fears, or or you as an adult now have fears. That's all I'm gonna say. Excellent, excellent book. It feels like creepypasta from Reddit if you're into that. Very good. Two more. Told you, I went wild. This was the holidays. So we have, this is an adaptation of one of my favorite Christmas movies, but it's a horror movie, so I watch it all the time. And it is Silent Night, Deadly Night. And this is by Armando Munoz, I think is how you'd say it. And it is based on the 1984 movie, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Not the new one coming out with Corey from Halloween. This is the original with Billy, naughty. So, and it's supposed to dive in to a lot of his childhood and what made him who he is. Because, right here is where the first, happens in the movie. So, this is all, building up to the movie we know, which is kind of crazy. So I'm very excited to read this, to see if it adds anything to it. It's canon, so, yeah. And then the last book I'm going to show you, I cannot wait to read this. I've read it before as a kid. Just thinking about it starts triggering a headache. This, I ordered this stupidly from Amazon. I try not to order books from Amazon at all. Especially if they're special edition. I'll put them in a wish list, but for me ordering them, if they're really special and not just some paperback, I'm gonna try to avoid Amazon. It is this special edition. And the reason I stupidly should have not ordered from them, this is my second copy. The first copy, this was shattered all the way down. It's plastic, you see? And this is a copy of Revenge of the Sith, and I had to fight them. I said I need a replacement because it is shattered. You put it in a big box when it is a tiny little book, and they said, let's see the proof of it. And I showed them. They said, that's not broken, that's just the jacket. Do you think people throw away jackets from books when they buy them? They're plastic wrappers or something? So I had to fight them to get a replacement. And then they charged me for it. So I had to fight them on that as well. But this is the adaptation of Revenge of the Sith, the third movie, which is my favorite Star Wars movie. And the jacket comes off to reveal Mustafar in the battle on Mustafar. And it comes with this pretty foiling. It's a special edition. And it has artwork on the end pages. There is a letter from the author, and I believe Hayden Christensen as well, who played 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 Skywalker. And it has a ribbon for bookmarking. It is just so pretty, and I cannot wait to read this again because I read it as a kid. But it is honestly kind of tragic, and it adds so much more to the story that we know. So, yeah. But that is all the books that I acquired in one way or another in the past 3 months. Now I'm going to show you the movies and TVs, and that's going to be a feat, let me tell you. So let's get started with that. Okay, so with movies, we have, I can try to separate them. Yeah, I'll try to separate them by movies and TV shows. How about that? That would probably be easier. Some of these I bought myself. Some of these were gifts, again, holidays. Yeah. And, I think that's all the TV shows, yeah. So, yeah. I will tell you, I did get, this is gonna sound stupid, which is why I didn't show it. My boyfriend's dad bought me, the entire Walking Dead collection. I suppose it was a good deal, because, do I make your son that happy? That was crazy. But that was really sweet, though, for Christmas, and, me and him have been doing sort of a, binge watch, so it's nice to just, lay in bed, and we pop the DVD, and we just lay there and watch it. So, yeah. But as far as TV shows, okay. So this one I bought at Walmart because I want to watch it. But I hate Prime Video. The UI is so annoying. So I got season 1 and 2 of Reacher. And Alan Richardson is one of my favorite people in the world because of just his morals and what he stands for. And he's sort of like a breath of fresh air in terms of everything that goes on in the world. He's just a cool guy. And I love what I watched so far of this. And so I was like, I'm just going to own it. Because the UI is getting annoying. And I never trust streaming services. One of my favorite shows, Future Man, Josh Hutcherson, was a Hulu original. A Hulu original now was made for the platform. And they took it off. You cannot watch it unless you pirate ship it. So that sucks. So I wanted to make sure that I own it. And I saw this at Walmart and I was like, that's a sign. It was one of those like Christmas wrapped up in 2 little specials. So got those. Very, very cool. I used again that pawn shop I told y'all about, where things are like brand new. And I got 3 things from them because they're like $2 a piece. They're brand new in plastic. Like, one of these I can't show you. I'm just cover it up. I'm gonna cover up with here. I'll cover it up with that's fitting. I'm covering it up with Simon versus the Homo sapiens. It is Dante's Cove, and it's just because the men have no shirts on. This is I'm gonna describe it by saying it's supernatural if Cass and Dean were in a game. Yeah, it's like, it's got the raunchiness of Heated Rivalry with the silly, campy magic of like Riverdale, oddly enough. And it's just silly and fun, and it's from Here TV's lineup, and they're very hard to find, and I don't have Here TV, but I love this show for just the campy fun of it. So I did go ahead and pick that up when I saw that. I was like, brand new in the plastic, come on now, $2. Then I got the first season of 13 Reasons Why. I think I certainly think this show can be harmful, but I also think it sort of opens the doorway a little bit into talking about mental illness. I suppose just to talk about what's not the right way. I mean, I went to a university for a semester. That sounds really shoddy to say, doesn't it? The college was not a good college. But the first week, because the show had just premiered that summer, they pulled us all into a room on the dorm. Like, they put us all in the downstairs basement, and they said, we need to talk about 13 Reasons Why. Anyone who's ever feeling this way. And I'm like, this is really odd to be having this conversation. But the show opened that, I suppose. And Brandon Flynn is a sweetheart. One of my favorite people in the world. He's excellent in this. We have Dylan Minnette, who is also excellent. We have Catherine Langford, who is just beautiful as Hannah. But the first season's all I can stand. I've watched all 4. What they do to Justin, Brandon Flynn's character, is a spit in the face to the struggles that gay people faced in the 80s. That's all I'm going to say. It's a spit in the face. They mishandled that so poorly. They mishandled the characters who are bullied ruthlessly, and there's a lot of things that should just not have been shown. That's why I think it's very harmful. The first season's okay, though, especially once they censored that thing that should not have been filmed to begin with. But yeah, I did get that. I don't have Netflix anymore, so I'm not paying as much as they were charging me. They keep raising the price every 10 minutes, and I said, nope. So, this is, okay, and then I have this, and I got this because I was like, I'm doing so well. This is one of the shows that I've been dying to watch, and now I get to own it without having to worry about tracking it down. There's 2 seasons, I only got the first one. I thought it was just 1 season. Castle Rock, and this is a collaboration between Stephen King and J.J. Abrams. And this is essentially just taking a lot of the stories that we know from his world that take place in Castle Rock and throwing them in one show. And though the characters may not, like the actors may not be playing the same characters, they do have King actors coming back. So Sissy Spacek, who of course played Carrie in the 70s, plays a different character. And we have Bill Skarsgård, we have, I believe Melanie Lynskey's in this. And don't quote me on that, but she is an angel, and I will walk through glass and fire for that woman. Yeah, it seems fun. It seems right up my alley, so. And for $2, I was like, can't pass it up, you know? It was in plastic, so. Then on to movies. Yay. Okay. I don't think I showed this one last time, because I don't think I got it last time. Maybe, no, I definitely didn't. So this is Chaos Walking. This is a Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, Nick Jonas, his name slips my mind, Hannibal. But this is an adaptation of the YA novel series, The Knife and Never Letting Go. The movie was a flop. I still think it's a flop, but I still think it's fun. And I love Tom Holland and Nick Jonas and Daisy Ridley having this sort of dynamic. I think Nick Jonas was extremely underused, especially considering he plays Davy Prentice, who is essential to the story. And it sort of just felt like they were rushing through everything, but it's still fun. You know, you can't hark on fun. So I did get that. Then I got these two collections because I rewatched these a lot, and I've actually watched them both since I got them. But the first is the Hunger Games collection, and this is all 4 films. This is Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. And I just wanted simple DVDs, little collection that I could just watch the movies. Because these are not streaming anywhere, and I don't want to pay $5 just to watch something that has to be returned in 2 days. So, yeah. Got those, and then the other collection was the Twilight collection. I've never read these. I have not read these books, but I do own the movies now, and I've watched them all. I just watched them all recently. So, and this is Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. So yeah, not much to say about this. This is a cheap one, it has 2 discs only, and it's just fun. Twilight's my favorite. It's very atmospheric. Feels like a Paramore video the entire time, and I eat that up. So, still think it's worth it to grow man and print it on a baby. I don't know what the author was thinking. I said that to someone recently, and they said, watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and see what you think. And I was like, what does that mean? Anyways, then we got, ooh, this is also from that store, forgot. This is Godzilla. I love that. I love this movie. This is the first in the sort of Warner Brothers take on it. They had that whole series going on, the Monster series. This is the one with Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I want to say it has Bryan Cranston, but I don't remember. I think it does. I've watched this once, but I know I wanted to watch it over and over because I did really enjoy it. I'm not a monster movie person, but this ate. Let me tell you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. So. And then we got some movies let's see. So body bags. Y'all ever watch Body Bags? Do you mess with Body Bags? Well, this is the Scream Factory edition of Body Bags. And this is a movie from, I believe, the 80s. And this is, I'm just gonna look. You have John Carpenter helming it. But, yeah, so it's John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper, and I think Wes Craven stars in it. And it's just a bunch of different stories. There are, it's like just a, sort of like the VHS series, but so funny. And this is the uncut version, and it is hilarious. Like, it's just funny as well as it is like horrific and gross. And I don't know, I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but my boyfriend showed it to me and he said, oh, you're gonna love this. He said, this is just right up your alley. And it was. So I immediately had to get the Scream Factory. There was no doubt about it. I needed the uncut version, and I needed to add this to my collection immediately because this is just gorgeous. Look at that. That is so cool. Oh, it's so gimmicky and campy. I love it. Then we got 2 new releases that I had to buy because if I love a movie, you know what? I'm just gonna show you all 3 new releases that I bought. If I love a movie so much, I need to buy the new release. I need to own it. So first and foremost, I got Caught Stealing. Yes, I'm as mad as you are that there's no slipcover. I had to dig this out of a box in Walmart because I usually go to Walmart for my new releases because I live down the street from it. And they didn't even put it on the shelf yet, so I just dug in the box and pulled it out myself. And mind you, this was like 5 p.m. the second day. So it wasn't on release day. So I just, yeah. Anyways, this is Austin Butler, and this has a slew of other cast members. You have Zoe Kravitz, you have Matt Smith, you have Regina King, you have Bad Bunny, but it's just, Vincent D'Onofrio, and oh, his name slips my mind, and I feel so bad that it does. He's the only one left that I have to name, and he's so iconic. Liev Schreiber. So, but this is a story about a man who is a ex-baseball player, and Hank Thompson, and his neighbor asks him to cat sit, and that leads, I won't tell you how, into him being involved with the mafia. So it's very fun, very cool, a lot of baseball references, but so action-packed. I love the book, and so I really enjoyed the movie as well. So, Caught Stealing. Then there was one that people berated and spit on and said it was awful. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I just like seeing men play football. I don't know. But this is Him. And this is a very run-of-the-mill story. It's very simple. It's about, to me, it's about the lengths that men will go to, quite literally torturing themselves, causing themselves pain, just to achieve something. I feel like there's a lot of masculinity that's being pushed into straight men. And this is not like a whole, feel sorry for straight men, because, that's not the kind of story it is. And I think people have kind of characterized it as that. But I feel like there is, even for gay men, this idea of masculinity. I'm wearing mascara and eyeshadow right now. But, they will go out of their way to make sure they don't have anything, any sort of weakness. And weakness is bad. And I was taught that by someone in my life as a kid. And it really messed me up. So I feel like it's kind of just a dramatic aspect of that. So, yeah. And this is Tyreek Withers, who is very new to the scene. And, of course, it's a Justin Tipping film. Jordan Peele produced it. People were really mad because they're like, oh, this has Jordan Peele's name on it. Jordan Peele produces a lot of movies. And I love Jordan Peele. So I just wanted to own it. And then, are you all ready for what is probably my second favorite film of the year? After Sinners. 2025. Come on, walk. I had track down a copy of this because Walmart didn't have it, Amazon didn't have it. I don't know what was up. I do not know what was up, and it was on release day that neither of them had it. There was no pre-order. But I managed to track down an eBay copy, and this is a Stephen King adaptation, and this is the story of these boys who must take on the task of The Long Walk, which is a dystopian. Don't ask me what this is, because I do not know. That was on that when I got it, and I cannot take it off for the life of me. But this is boys who are forced to walk forever, or until one of them is left standing. Essentially, there's no finish line, and they have to walk 3 miles an hour, and if they stop for any reason, they... yeah. So it's dark, it's twisted. It is essentially, for me, the start of the Hunger Games. This was written way before the Hunger Games was even thought of, and it was nice to see the person who made the Hunger Games movies, Frank Lawrence, sort of take the helm and make it his own. So, very good. David Johnson, an absolute angel. Alien Romulus, he was perfect. He's perfect. He's quickly becoming a Scream King. And of course you have Cooper Hoffman, who is Seymour Hoffman's son, and they're both just excellent. The whole cast round out. Mark Hamill maybe is a little too much as the villain at times, but I think it works. So, very, very good book. Movie, I mean. The book's really good too. And then we have, I'm going to save that one till later because that one's massive. We have 3 movies I'm actually going to knock out at once because they do technically go together. And these are all for my boyfriend for my birthday, because he knows that Nosferatu is one of my favorite movies, and he knows that Robert Eggers is one of my favorite directors, and probably my favorite horror director, absolutely. He got me the rest of Robert Eggers' movies on DVD to match my Nosferatu. So we have The Witch, excellent, excellent movie, and this follows a family who are cast out of their little town, and they must survive in the woods on their own little crop field that they make until a witch decides to invade them. Very cool. Very cool. Then we have The Lighthouse. I could not tell you what this movie is about. Don't ask me to. Just know that it is about loneliness, is what I think it's about. Seclusion. So, but still very, very excellent, very atmospheric. And then I think my second favorite of Robert Eggers, after Nosferatu, is The Northman, which is a Nordic Viking tale, and it is based on the legends of Vikings, and it has Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy. You have Claes Bang from Game of Thrones. So I mean, it's Ethan Hawke is in it. Like, it's a roundabout cast. Willem Dafoe, of course, who's in all of his movies, and it is just stunning, absolutely beautiful, so well thought out. All of his movies have a sort of dark atmosphere with this old way of telling stories. They're very 16th and older century, 14th century, I mean even farther back than that, obviously, with The Northman. And he said that's where he's sticking. He's never going to verge from that. His next one is Werewolf, which is about a werewolf in like London in the old times. So I'm whatever century that is. I don't think he said yet, but I'm very excited for that. I will be front and center in the theater. And then I got some Christmas gifts. A lot of movies for Christmas. So, that's a lie. That's a lie. One of these is for my birthday. This was from my brother for my birthday. Watcher. And this is a Netflix original, but I don't have Netflix. And it is Micah Monroe, who is, I mean, if I'm going to be like subjective in my feelings, the best horror actor we have working today. And she's one of the best actors, period. She's just chef's kiss. I love that woman to death. And this is a story about a woman who, it's sort of Rosemary's Baby tale, kind of, where her and her husband moved to Romania, and he is a movie director and stuff, and he works there, and she believes that someone is stalking her from the apartment building across the street. She keeps seeing him watch her, and it's so nerve-wracking. The anxiety this builds, the grocery store scene, that's all I can say. Terrifying. Terrifying. I've watched it so well. I mean, this here says, a stunning, gaslighting whodunit against a blood-curdling villain for the ages. That's the best way to describe it. Absolutely excellent. And my red flags of the villain isn't ugly. That's my red flag about myself. That I think that. So then we have Christmas gifts from my boyfriend, who he just loves sharing his love of film with me, and he wanted to get films that he knew I was looking to own eventually, and this boy keeps marking it out of the park. I'm gonna, like, beat him up. So first he got me Oppenheimer, and I love Oppenheimer. This is one of the best films I've seen, and I think Inception is still Christopher Nolan's magnum opus. My boyfriend would say it's Oppenheimer, but I love all of Nolan's films, even the ones that I don't fully understand, like Tenet. I still love the vibes that I'm getting from it. This was excellent. This was absolutely what I expected. I remember the first time I watched it, I was sitting in his bedroom, because I did buy tickets for Barbenheimer, lost Oppenheimer ticket, it was sold out. But I remember watching it, and then the ending scene of this, the final scene, if you've seen it, I stood up and I walked to the corner of his room and I just stood there, just like rubbing my face, going, what the heck? Like, it was so scary. But this is just so beautiful. I absolutely adore this movie. I've seen this, I think it was my 4th most watched film last year. If I'm not mistaken, 2025. I think it was like 7 times I watched this. So it's just beautiful, and I was obviously getting tired of renting it, and he knew that, and he was like, very, very cool, very, very smart. And then he got me, I'm going to show you the rest of what he got me in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and show you this so I don't forget. This is Dawn of the Dead. Look how cool this is. This is a special edition. There are multiple editions of this movie, don't ask me why, but this one has them all. And I loved this movie so much more than I was expecting to. So as you can see, it has every edition, plus a comic book. But I was in love with this movie from the start, and it continues The Night of the Living Dead, so it's in that same universe. It's George A. Romero, and this one takes place at a mall, so very fun, very creative. I really, really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun, and this is an edition that's hard to find, so thankfully I tracked it down on eBay, because I want to watch all the editions and compare them in my head. And then the last of what he got me. Okay. So 3 more movies and we're done. These are the last of what my boyfriend got me for Christmas. We have probably my favorite Timothée Chalamet performance, Call Me By Your Name. And this is a beautiful movie. I think Timothée Chalamet, the way he moves his face, the way he subtly acts with these little ways of moving his body and his face and his voice quivering, and I think that's really well captured. And it's not a romance, it's a discovery of oneself, and I love this movie. Yeah. Sorry, I think 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 is a genius. Then we have a movie that's kind of not genius, but just really fun, and I love it, and it's Five Nights at Freddy's. I played the game as a kid. I was part of the generation that was there when the game dropped. We all had bootlegs. We passed them around in high school. I was a freshman, I think, on a USB drive. There was one kid who managed to get a bootleg, and we passed it around, and we all put it on our computers, and we played it, and I liked it. It was fun, but I wasn't obsessed with it or anything. And yeah, So this is the movie. I watched it. I'm sorry, I watched it because of Josh Hutcherson. I'm not even gonna lie, I love that man to death. But I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was. Is it cheesy? Yeah. Does it have? Does it expect you to know the lore? Yes. It's not made for non-fans. It's made for fans. But I still had a lot of fun. The sequel was kind of bad. Not gonna lie. But I really enjoyed this one. So. And he was laughing because we watched the sequel 2 days before Christmas. And I said, I'm just gonna wait for like the $7, the $7.50 little duo set that usually comes to Walmart years later. I was like, I'll just wait for that before I buy them. He was snickering to himself because he knew he already got me the first one that I wanted. So, yeah. And then the last thing he got me, I cried. I'm not gonna lie when I opened it because he knows the people in my life, people that matter, my mom, like people like that, they understand my obsession with dolls and stuff. But people that I've had in my life, friends that I'm no longer friends with, ex-partners and stuff, they've never fully understood it and almost made fun of me for my love of dolls. My boyfriend lifts me up for it. He's bought me dolls. He loves that I love them, and he loves that I love Barbie. And so not only did he get me a copy of Barbie, because I somehow did not own it, he went out of his way to track down the special edition that was released when this movie first came out. And it plays, even though it's a UK edition. And this has, so it's really pretty, it has the slipcover, like the doll box, and then it has Barbie. And I just cried because I felt like I was seen, you know what I mean? And there are, so first of all, there's the Blu-ray, very pretty. And then you have this little art box, which, be really careful, comes with a poster. So it comes with a poster, which I won't be putting up, as well as art cards. So there's the car on the way to the real world, the bicycle, the boat, the camper, space, and then the snowmobile. So it has the whole journey, and it'd be really cute if you like display them on a wall in order. But I'm going to be keeping them in here. So that was very sweet. I felt really blessed to have a partner who, it's silly because it's just a movie, but who saw me. Oh, yeah, I felt really good. So, I really just love it, and that's all the movies that I got. So, Barbie. And yeah, so I mean, how many movies? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Not including The Walking Dead. Books, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So almost the same amount. I need to cut back on buying myself. Gifts and stuff are fine, but like, because I don't count that towards me buying a lot of things. But I need to start budgeting better for buying things. Maybe I just need to treat myself. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you with this type of video in another 3 months. Until next time, remember you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and you're loved.